Hello everyone, Jacob here. In today's lesson we're going to talk about this structure right here, in which case. And we usually use it like this. You'll have a full sentence, subject, verb, object, in which case, and then another full sentence, subject, verb, object. And in Korean this means 뭐뭐 할 경우라면. Alright, and we use this in English to talk about the result of a possible the result of a possible situation, of a possibility. All right, and the reason I'm using all of these different colors isn't just to make it look pretty, but actually because in the second sentence here you will talk about the result. So let me just point that out. In the first sentence you're going to be talking about the kind of possibility. All right, so you'll have a possibility, in which case, and then the result, or you could even say the outcome. All right, so let's go ahead and look at our first example, which is pretty straightforward. It's probably going to be cold in February. It's probably going to be cold in February. Right now it's January and it's freezing. So I'm guessing that it's probably going to be cold in February. This is a possible situation, a possibility. In which case, I won't ride my motorcycle. So I ride a motorcycle, but I really don't like to ride it when it's cold outside because it's not pleasant. It's not very fun. So again, here we're using this structure kind of to talk about the result of a possible situation. You have a possible situation right here. It's probably going to be cold in February, in which case, and then the result or the outcome, I won't ride my motorcycle. All right, so this is pretty straightforward, and in Korean, I guess this would translate to 2월에 날씨 추울 경우라면 오토바이 안 탈 거야. So you could say that, or you could actually split this sentence up into two separate sentences. You could say, it's probably going to be cold in February, period. In that case, I won't ride my motorcycle. All right, but this is two separate sentences. If you use in which case, it makes one really long, nice sentence. Okay, so I think it's quite useful. I always encourage my students to try and make longer, a little bit more complicated sentences rather than two really short sentences. All right, let's go ahead and look at a second example. The Lotte Giants might win the Korean series. The Lotte Giants might win the Korean series. I actually don't think this is very likely because, I don't think the Lotte Giants are a very good team. No offense to any Giants fans, but I just don't think this is very likely. It is possible though, so it's okay to use in this kind of sentence. The Lotte Giants might win the Korean series, in which case, people from Busan would be very happy. People from Busan love their baseball team, the Lotte Giants, and if the Lotte Giants won the Korean series, they would be very, very happy. So you could actually just say that. You could use that kind of more simple structure. If 뭐뭐뭐, then 뭐뭐뭐 would be very happy. If the Lotte Giants won the Korean series, people from Busan would be very happy. It's a little bit more simple, and I encourage people to kind of change the structures that they're using, to sometimes use different structures. So you could use this in which case instead. All right, so let's go ahead and look at one last example, and then we're going to wrap up the lesson. North Korea is unlikely to change. North Korea is unlikely to change. In which case, Korea will remain divided. North Korea is unlikely to change. They have a new leader, Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-il died last year, so they have a new leader, Kim Jong-un, but he is very similar to his father. So I don't think that North Korea is likely to change. North Korea is unlikely to change. So we've talked about, possible situations, likely situations, or here we're talking about even an unlikely situation. So you could do that as well, and still use this structure, in which case. All right, so again, here we're doing kind of the same thing. We're talking about an unlikely situation, and then we have in which case, and then the result. All right, so that is basically how we use this structure, in which case, to talk about the result of a possible situation. And before we go, I just want to stress one last thing. When you're using this structure, it's good to use words like probably or might, or in the last sentence, unlikely, because it lets people know that you're talking about a possible situation, a possibility. All right, so make sure you use something like this just to stress that it's a possible situation. And then in the second sentence, usually we use future tense. I won't ride my motorcycle. People would be happy. Well, I guess this isn't future tense, it's conditional, but that's okay too. Korea will remain divided. All right, so that's pretty much everything you need to know about how to use this structure, in which case. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I hope you understood everything, and I'll see you next time.